Hey Scrappers, it's Tom from the iScrap app, and wherever you're watching us this week, we welcome you to our weekly report, where you can learn about scrap metal prices, news, ask us questions about materials, or ask our advice on the markets. If you're looking to ask those questions, ask us whether it's live or after, and we'll always get you those answers. Come on in, let's go talk scrap.
It's me! What's up, guys? Tom from iScrap. Today's 4/20/22, and instead of making some type of 420 joke, we've seen Bear Bright listed for $4.20 a pound at multiple scrap yards. Mine was included until about 2 hours ago when I saw that the market dropped in back-to-back days and we lowered some prices, but we'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. Here we are. Third week of April, lots of stuff going on. We have started to see different market slippage. We've seen the steel prices go down, cap prices go up, down, up, down, up, down, kind of even. Copper slightly decreased, and we see a lot of different things going on outside of the United States, throughout the world, inside, and we're going to talk about some of those things. Like always, if you are looking for more information on scrap, our YouTube page has so many videos on it. If you ever get sick of listening to me talking about scrap, I'm sorry, but you know, it is what it is. But we got lots of content on there, lots of things for you to learn about. And let's talk about what's going on in the economic world and how it affects commodities. I have an opinion, right? My opinion that the current administration did such a poor job canceling so many fuel things last year in 2021 that we have these high prices for gas, but also these high prices for metals because of it. So it's really a bit of a funny thing. You sit here and you're like, well, I'd like to pay $2 a gallon for gas again. Who wouldn't? Cost me $100 to fill up my pickup truck this morning, right? But without high gas prices, we may not have seen some of the run-ups in the steel or the aluminum markets. Sure, we saw the run-up in copper, right? But that happened before the Biden administration jumped in. So we saw market prices out there, and since then, with oil and gas going through the roof, we've seen other markets picking up steam. But then the Ukrainian conflict has caused problems for specialty markets and other commodities outside of the metals industry. You know, the Ukrainian problem has caused problems because the world essentially stopped dealing with Russia, or most of the world. So that hurts the nickel production, the palladium production. All those special metals come from there, on top of the millions of barrels of of oil that are pumped out and you know, kind of pushed all over the world. So all of these things, not just this Ukrainian conflict, but a lot of these things have contributed to these commodity prices. One of the good pieces of news that we've seen over the last 2 years is how many steel mills inside of the United States are retaining and building new facilities. Many mills for years were moving out of the country. Many got repatriated in 2016 to 2020. Now we're starting to see a lot of these companies building new facilities. So with these new facilities, we don't have to have things exported as much. Now the good part about that is that things can stay domestic, they can get processed quicker, back onto the shelf as new consumer goods quicker, and a lot of the exporting fees, tariffs, and shipping and trucking and boat charges are gone, right? But you also are going to have things like quicker turnarounds might mean some of the prices go down, and that's one of the things that we have seen. Someone there? No, sorry. So we're looking at these markets and we're saying, okay, what's going to happen moving forward? You know, the last month and a half with the steel run-up of over $100 a ton, I knew that that was not going to be sustainable for the rest of the year. Many economists are predicting that the United States and many parts of the world could start to fall in a little bit of a recession the second half of this year. And I believe the same, because when so many dollars were printed, so much inflation happened, interest rates are now going back up again. These are all the things that affect not only the commodities world, but everything around us. So aluminum markets, super strong, hasn't changed, but we're seeing aluminum repurposed in so many different ways, whether they're in the frames of solar panels or the hoods of cars, or even the the chassis of cars. I mean, the F-150 now makes their chassis out of aluminum to keep it lighter, right? So aluminum is going to continue to be repurposed and really used in great ways moving forward. Now, the aerospace industry, the aviation industry has seen a massive comeback with people wanting to get out, ripping the masks off, getting onto the planes, traveling all over the place. So that means that many of these companies like United and Delta, who were not ordering planes from big companies like Boeing for a couple of years or were slowing down their orders, they should start to recycle their planes in the next few years, and a lot of these specialty materials will also be needed. Now, the nickel market. Why is the nickel market so important? Sure, we could talk about stainless steel, but with the electric vehicle market continued to be pushed on us, whether you like it or you don't, nickel is one of the primary metals that you need in a lot of these these EV batteries. Some companies have lithium ion, nickel based materials, they have things mixed together, but nickel, because so much of it came from Russia, we have had a big run up in prices, and we've seen stainless steel markets affected because of that. And it wasn't because of the demand of stainless steel, but really a push on the EV market, and the nickel market moving forward is going to be really interesting to see how this continues to grow. If it's going to stay here, if we're going to see more increases, we don't know. Now, we're going to talk about catalytic converters. We're going to pop to a short commercial break, but one thing that we really want you to think about: do you know who your catalytic converter buyers are? Can you trust them? Are they reliable? And those are some of the questions that we've been asked over the last few weeks, and after this short break, we'll address.
At rrcat.com, we have everything that you need to sell your catalytic converters. We have an easy quoting system that you can send pictures or serial numbers to. We have the ability to get your cats graded within 1 business day. You'll get quick payment via PayPal or check. If you look at our Google reviews and our other online reviews, you will feel confident with the team at rrcats.com to be able to purchase your catalytic converter time and time again. We look forward to earning your business at rrcats.com today.
So a lot of people ask us about rrcats.com, but also about other catalytic converter buyers. We want to address this kind of head on instead of dodging it. Of course, we want you to sell your cats to rrcats.com. But one of the things that we do at rrcats compared to other people is we back ourselves up through Google reviews, through easy quoting process, through transparent prices, through free shipping labels, holding prices for, 7 business days, 10 business days sometimes. Those are things that are really solid. A lot of local catalytic converter buyers, and what we have found over the last 10 years is that when prices go up on certain materials, people just become scrappers. People just become catalytic converter buyers, and they want to put their hustle on, and we respect a good hustle. Don't get me wrong, that's what I do all day long. But a lot of these guys don't have business licenses, aren't taking driver's licenses, don't know what they're actually talking about, are throwing numbers out because they want to be able to give you quick cash, shut you up, and not have negotiating power. But dealing with people like that will hurt you in the long run, because you might get burned 1 or 2 times, and all of a sudden you don't have reliability when the market goes down. At Rockaway Recycling, we've been open for 45 years. We never close. COVID for a few weeks, but we're always buying material, markets high, markets low. So when the catalytic converter prices become the hot new thing, you're going to have a lot of these people coming out there. And a lot of the comments that we've seen online is, how do I know who to sell to? You need to do your research. So look up different people before you do it, and the same thing goes for scrap. With copper prices so high, you have 500 pounds of copper, that could be a $2,000 score. But what if someone gives you $1,200 because you didn't do your market research? By using the iScrap app, learning about market prices, looking up scrap yards in your area, referencing the national price list, these are all things that give you the ability to really learn about the markets in different and more important ways. So, we have our weekly report, and that certainly helps you, but doing research on your own in your local markets is going to help you make money long term, where we can only teach you how to sort and separate. Now it comes to the sales game, and selling material is super hard. Now, over the last week, we're going to, tell you what we think you should hold or sell, and let's go over a couple of things. Copper, we did see a nice price increase on Monday, 10 cents a pound. Tuesday, down 9 cents a pound. This morning, we've seen down 7 cents a pound. So we did see the copper market decrease slightly. So we think things like Bear Bright and number 1 tubing still should be continued to be sold. Maybe you want to sell your brass, maybe you want to hold your brass or your insulated wire, but with these prices still so high, we don't see much reason to hold on to anything from week to week right now. Steel prices down $60 a ton. Now, the next question is, should I hold or sell? I still believe you should always sell your steel. Maybe your rotors might be something that you want to hold on to, but if you're scrapping as is, day to day, don't save any of that stuff. Once it's in the truck, on the trailer, get it to the scrapyard and get it out of your vehicle. Now, we want to talk about one more thing today before we wrap up our weekly report, and that is this Friday, April 22nd, which is Earth Day. Now, at Rockaway Recycling, not only are we promoting recycling, we also are helping in the local community, doing garbage cleanups, sponsoring local teams, and other things like that. But Earth Day is more than that. Earth Day is talking about what you can do not only on Earth Day to keep the earth and everything around it clean, but it's also to talk about day-to-day things and things that you can be aware of and what can be recycled outside of the metal world. Plastics and paper and glass, all these different things. There are great resources online that you can learn about. Maybe you're not going to make money on them, but what we've learned over the years is not everything is worth making money on, but there are some things that are worth always doing. So we implore you to look into different community events for Earth Day, whether they're local river cleanups, highway cleanups, or street cleanups. These are all really positive things where you can give back to the community in great and positive ways. Scrappers, this is Tom from iScrap. Today is 420. We hope that you're doing well, scrapping often, enjoying the markets. Let us know questions, comments, concerns, anything you want us to talk about. Until next time, I'll scrap you later.
Thanks for checking out our scrap videos. By becoming a Patreon supporter today, you'll be entered into monthly giveaways for tools and other products to help you make more money with your scrap.